In the headlines, Dominica on high alert to keep out a banana disease which experts say threatens the cash crop's very existence. Alternative crime fighting strategies recommended following another armed robbery at a gas station. And government defends its Citizenship by Investment program as one that is properly vetted and highly reputable. Season's greetings, I am Lurian Graham Carter with the Channel 5 News. Details coming up. Topping the news, Dominica is on high alert for the Panama disease, which is affecting banana and plantains in Asia and Africa. Panama disease is a disease of the root of the banana plants. It is a type of Fusarium wilt caused by fungal pathogen Fusarium oxysporum. The pathogen is resistant to fungicide and cannot be controlled chemically. The disease has 4 different races and has been identified in other countries. In the early 1900s, the disease caused devastation on the Gros Michel variety of bananas. This called for change to the Cavendish, which is a more resistant variety.
Right now, this fungus has mutated and we now have a risk 4. It's present, as I said earlier, in Asia and Africa. It's not yet present within the Caribbean basin, but it could cause serious devastation to our banana and plantain industries. All Musa species are susceptible to it, and to date, scientists has not identified any variety or species of Musa which is resistant to tropical race 4.
Laville says presently there is no alternative variety for banana and plantain production if the current variety is affected.
Tropical race 4 is one to be feared even more than black sigatoka. Why is that? Tropical race 4, Fusarium oxysporum tropical race 4, is a soil-borne fungus. In other words, you will not see it on the leaves of the plant until the plant is dying. Unlike black sigatoka, you'll see the leaves getting brown and you'll say, oh, we need to give it some attention, we need to treat it. But with tropical race 4, it's in the soil, gets into the system of the plant, kills the plant, and then you see the symptoms. By then it's too late.
Currently, the Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit is working to prevent entry of the disease. If any farm in Dominica is affected, it would have to be abandoned for at least 10 years to starve the fungus. Laville says currently the unit is trying to find a sample of race 1 of the Panama disease so that if Dominica is affected, they will be able to compare it. Another armed robbery at a gas station in less than 2 months has a top security firm advocating for businesses to consider proper security. Perpetrators of a robbery at Ruby's service station at Castle Comfort on Monday evening made good their escape. 2 individuals are still on the loose since an armed robbery at that same gas station in October, where a security officer from Francois Security firm was shot. Platinum Security has been in the business for 18 years, and its manager, Kimo Astafan, says businesses and the police must work with security firms to ensure lives and property are safeguarded.
In terms of the customers need to do more. I don't think the customers are taking the necessary precaution to assist the security and assist the police. Every establishment in Dominica needs to have a camera system, which we call a CCTV system. The customer must be able to pay for proper security. You pay for what you get. 2, the officer on duty must be properly dressed, must be properly equipped. 3, the police needs to assist the local security companies a bit more. They're doing it, but a little more collaboration could be done.
Last Carnival, Astafan partnered with the police force to install CCTV along the Carnival route. He says the use of video surveillance will help with criminal investigations.
When we have robberies, there are so many elements that come into play. Time before, time prior, time after. Who was there? The guys who robbed the Ruby station may have come hour earlier, or 2 hours earlier or a day or two earlier and just walk around the area to know where they're going to park, how they're going to execute the robbery, etc. If you don't have that footage, 30 days, 15 days before or after, how can you assist the police? Simple. I come in a black shirt, I come back in a red shirt.
The parliamentary representative for Capuchin, Clifton and Cottage, Reginald Austrie, is back home for the Christmas. Mr. Austrie, who is also Minister for Petrocaribe, Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, had been hospitalized in Guadeloupe for several months. A source close to the minister confirms that Mr. Austrie had surgery done on his leg while in Guadeloupe. Channel 5 News understands he is much better now, currently at home recuperating. Minister for Agriculture Johnson Drygo calls on women involved in farming to aspire to be like their counterparts in Dalis. Mr. Drygo was addressing a presentation ceremony from ICA staff to the Tuluma Women in Action group. Drygo says now more than ever family farming is important.
I want to say to the women farmers farming community of Dominica that they must establish groups, women groups in other areas. It would be nice if we could have a strong vegetable farmers group of women coming from the valley. We are preparing to start a women group of farmers concentrating on cassava and potatoes in the Gurup, Sons of a Pitisufu area.
Drygo says government will be able to assist these groups better if they are part of farmers' groups. He calls on the farming community of Dominica to improve on their standards.
So I want all of our farmers to go to the extension offices within their zones and use the wealth of knowledge that exists within the structures. Invite the extensions to your farms because everybody is presently on a rapid replanting program. You cannot do it alone. You need the support of the extension officers of your area.
Mr. says the government will continue to play its part, but farmers must be responsible to maximize production. Christmas this year will be a little different for a number of displaced people from Petit-Savan and Dubic. With more on this, here's Andrea Louis. Almost 4 months ago, Tropical Storm Erica devastated the lives of over 600 people, forcing them to leave behind the place they called home. Immediately following the tropical storm, residents from Dubic and Petit-Savan were housed at the hurricane shelters of the Grand Bay Community Center, Grand Bay Resource Center, and the Dominica Grammar School for several weeks. They are currently staying at the St. Amy's Guest House, Kent Anthony's Guest House, and Springfield Guest House.
When Christmas Day come in, we cleaning, we cleaning, weeding, cleaning house.
So how do you hope or plan to spend your Christmas here then?
Well, I have to spend my Christmas here because you remember Petit-Savan not good again.
But you still have access to the community. Do you go back to visit or to check on your house or anything?
I go once, after community service, I go there. But when I come back, I fall sick, I don't go back again.
Well, in Petit-Savan, we really enjoyed good Christmas. First of all, we ensure that there is food on the table, there is meat, and what is the good thing about it is that the community itself always enjoy Christmas joyously. We young men, we join together, we organize parties, we go from home to home, have drinks with our friends. We ensure that the pigs are slaughtered, and we smoke our meat, get our babaoli or powil to make our broth. And that's the beauty of it, our sorrel, you know, that's the beauty of it, the enjoyment. Those of us who are living here, we can arrange ourselves in such a way and organize something in the shelter. We can do it decently. We know we are not in our community, and we can do it decently, but enjoy ourselves nicely.
For the morning, I will get up and go out and check my partners and them, ask them what they're doing for the day. They will tell me they're leaving about 4, go to town. Come back up. We go to free up. We have some socializing with us free up and we enjoy ourselves.
Okay. And now that you're not in Dubic, how do you see yourself spending this Christmas?
Well, I'm not sure, but I got an invitation from someone to spend Christmas at home as a game night. So I think it's going to be quite exciting.
We will hear more from the Petit Savan residents on their adjustments to life in the guest house in a subsequent newscast. Andrea Lee, Channel 5 News.
Coming up on the Channel 5 News, Father Franklin Coffey has some news on his citizenship status. That and more still ahead. Welcome back. Chairperson of the Ministerial Committees in Citizenship by Investment, Dr. Colin McIntyre, says applications must go through 2 committees before the application is approved. Dr. McIntyre says applications are usually received by a technical committee headed by Gloria Joseph, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Investment.
The basic concept is analyzed there at this level, where there's interface between the developer or investor at this time in terms of what's required for the project, in terms of, its application and, the whole chain of command, what has to happen. Once the technical committee is satisfied that this is a project that can be presented to government based on completion of the requirements of the proposal, is now submitted to the ministerial subcommittee comprising of, 4-5 ministers who would sit on it and look at the recommendations from the technical committee and make a decision on it. And the final decision, and from the ministerial subcommittee, it is then sent to the Honorable Prime Minister, where the final approval is granted.
Potential investors have to attend mandatory interviews on island, provide evidence of a clean criminal record, and business background information.
We don't want it to sound, and it's not so really, we are selling a passport. That's not what we are doing. We're selling, looking at investment for the development of Dominica. We're not the first on the market, but what's important about the Dominican product is that it is based on due diligence. As the Prime Minister has mentioned, everywhere you've heard him speak, he's not going to compromise this project or the program, and he's going to rely solely on due diligence being done.
Father Franklin Coffey has been officially declared a citizen of Dominica. Once more, here's Andrea Louis.
On Monday, 14th December, the Roman Catholic priest went to have his 6th Dominican passport renewed and was told to apply for Dominican citizenship. Coffey, who was born in Aruba, moved to Dominica while still a young child in 1952.
Eventually, the Labor Division informed me that by virtue of my parents, the fact that they are Dominicans by descent, I am a citizen of Dominica. Now, I was told there's no need to apply for citizenship, but they say you need to register, register as a Dominican.
Coffey noted that he is not the only individual on island to be in this position and suggests a way to get more accurate information on people living in the country.
I think what can be done, there could be an amnesty, for example, and invite us, encourage us to come and register. But we should not wait until you're traveling and say you have overstayed in the country, or when you go to the immigration to renew your passport. And I have with me here this morning the certificate which I took again to the immigration office, and the process has begun. So I still have to wait for another. I paid $250 to apply for citizenship. I was told that that will be refunded.
He says the immigration system must be upgraded to avoid similar situations in the future.
And I think the whole process is the updating of the computers. I think that is where the issue is. Well, as a matter of fact, when I went back to the police station where I was told I need to apply for citizenship, I said, what is this? And they say, well, this is a registration. Okay, so differentiate, they say, you are a citizen, which I wasn't told 2 weeks ago when I went there the first time.
Father Coffey had, over the past few decades, renewed 5 Dominican passports without incident.
Head of Extension in the Ministry of Agriculture is calling for an umbrella organization for the potato sector. Over 1,000 bags of elite potato seeds were brought into Ireland Friday for sale to farmers at reduced cost. Felix Leslie says it's time for potato farmers from the region to unite and have a sector that they can depend on. Leslie says the ministry has been trying to encourage more Dominicans to go into potato farming.
Our students live in school, they can now look at potatoes, young farmers. So people can do, it's a short crop. Within 90 days you have a harvest. So we think it is a crop of tremendous potential. We know that a lot of things has to be done in that because we've had the Dexias, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Jamaica experience. A lot of things come into play together. But we believe that if we pool our efforts together, that crop is on its way to developing and becoming significant in the agricultural sector.
Leslie says the ministry has used strategies to encourage local support of potato farmers.
So what it will do, our local individuals who purchase potatoes, what's going to happen, because the tariff is raised, it serves as a deterrent for ordering potatoes. And they understand that. It's not meant to be punitive, it's an understanding between the buyers, the people involved in marketing and production. When you look at people like Mr. Green and the other business houses around town, they are involved in assisting farmers. So it's a collaboration, it's a good relationship. So in terms of market, the market is there locally for potatoes.
Recently, 40 farmers in Calibishi participated in updated technology training on potato farming. And finally, Jace Bookstore joins a growing list of companies spreading the Christmas spirit.
3 establishments were recipients to a financial contribution from Jace Bookstore. The bookstore annually donates to organizations around the island as part of its corporate responsibility.
I believe that you're all doing a wonderful job in caring for people and in helping to prevent crimes in Dominica, which is an important thing. So we are happy this morning to present to you a small check of $2,500 each, which we hope will assist you in the work that you're doing. And we wish that it could be more.
The Dominica Infirmary, Crime Stoppers Dominica, and the Grotto Home for the Homeless benefited from the goodwill of Jace Bookstore.
I know Jace has been a partner of Dominica Infirmary for some time. This is not the first of its kind. I just hope that it continues on an annual basis. But thank you for this. You keep saying small, but to us it's a lot because every little bit counts at Dominica Infirmary.
This morning, you say it's little. I can tell you, in your eyes it may be little, but for me it is very big. I only want to encourage the general public to support Jace Bookstore. That's the only way he can help us.
Crime Stoppers is a very young organization, and we'd like to use this opportunity to employ everyone to volunteer and donate in every way possible. Every dollar helps, every word helps, and in our case, your words speaks millions. Right? We're here to fight crime in Dominica, but we can't do it without your help. Mr. Lewis?
That's news. Kenny Williams is next with your sports highlights.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. First up in sports, President of the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, Cedric Harris, urges the recently certified coaches of the CSCE IAAF Level 1 certification program to continuously update their skills in the dynamic field in which they operate. His comments follow the end of a 10-day certification program put on by the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, where 13 Level 1 and 2 kids athletics coaches were certified.
One of the things that you need to do as a coach is always keep studying, keep getting new information, keep updating yourself with information, because the world is moving fast. And like us in coaching, it is a science in itself.
Meantime, President of the Dominica Olympic Committee, Felix Wilson, encourages the newly certified coaches to do their part in preparing athletes for competition.
You have a major responsibility. You would have heard me lament many times that we need to have properly qualified coaches to take athletes from the national level through the regional level to international level.
He adds the sky is the limit in the area of sports certification, and coaches should not put limits on themselves.
I have also a problem with the University of the West Indies, where a lot of courses are being done in sports management. That is a good thing. That is management. I wish that was being done in coaching, so that many of our PE teachers at secondary schools, because that's where it starts, and primary school, they too could be qualified and pursue higher levels. So do not stop at level 1. You have to go on to level 5, it is. And even then, I would still recommend that beyond this IAAF Olympic Solidarity courses, look to doing further, probably a degree. Okay? Because coaching, my dear friends, is an art and a science.
2 local footballers have been selected to take part in the MLS tryouts. The DFA recently made the announcement and says it hopes to select a third if regulations permit. President of Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne, says the association is always seeking opportunities for local footballers.
The DFA is always aggressive in representing, sending persons to represent us at the MLS, and I must say we have 2 persons already been selected in the names of Brian Thomas from Dubla and Anthony Frederick from Bafokeng. Both these 2 players already playing semi-professional football in Trinidad. I mean, they're involved in training, so we just wish them well, and we expect them to at least maybe one of them can get a call up in the MLS team. And as we speak, I am still trying to get a 3rd person on the MLS tryout. So hopefully I have not get any response from CFU yet, but I'm working furiously to get another 3rd person on for 2016, and it's maybe the first time that is going to happen to any country, having 3 persons in the MLS tryout.
In some rounders action over the weekend, a double century was recorded in Sunday's edition of the National Rounders League. Antoinette Paul was undefeated for 209 runs for Posse Rockstars, the home team scoring 455 for 3, won by 8 wickets over AGS Dynamic Stars. The visitors were all out for 429, with Rhonda Alexander scoring 6 runs short of a century. Still in rounders, Seco Rising Stars batted first to set the target at 262 for 8 when they were edged out by Maxwell Conquerors by 2 runs, scoring 264 for 5. Maxwell Conquerors and Posse Rockstars are the first qualifiers to the semi-finals of the league. Conquerors had a comfortable 6-wicket win over Seco Rising Stars on Sunday. The other 2 quarter-final matches will be played on January 10 and the semi-finals on January 17 of 2016. And finally, in forehand domino played on Sunday, teams faced off in 2 zones for the win. In Zone A, Remix defeated Golden Arms by 461 points. Execute had a 73-point lead over Rabbit Hole. A 221 points difference separated the winning Tambourine Tree City from losing Fire Services. Swansea beat Martian and Skills defeated Jamdown. Zone B winners were Valiance with 4,017 points, Task Force 4,038, Mount Zion 4,023, and Dolphins 4,033. The game between Homeboy and Barbie 007 ended 3,395 and 3,487 respectively and will continue on Sunday. That's all the time we have for sports. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time.
Your weather report next.
Good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. Patches of low-level clouds continued to move across the islands of Valles Antilles today, with Dominica reporting generally cloudy skies and radar imagery indicating some shower activity across the island today. For tonight, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with some scattered showers, and breezy conditions will be maintained. These conditions are expected to persist into tomorrow. Sea conditions are expected to be rough in open water with waves peaking near 10 feet. A small craft warning remains in effect for high winds and rough seas. For the next 3 days, expect occasional cloudy skies and the trade wind shower pattern to continue. For the remainder of the Caribbean tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers can be expected into tomorrow. For the international cities forecast, some rain expected in New York and clear skies expected in London and Beijing with partly cloudy skies in Miami and Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:28 a.m. and set at 5:41 p.m. For additional information, feel free to contact us at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Dominica on high alert to keep out a banana disease, which experts say threatens the cash crop's very existence. Alternative crime fighting strategies recommended following another armed robbery at gas station. And government defends its Citizenship by Investment program as one that is properly vetted and highly reputable. Email us at news@mapping2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube page. On behalf of the production team, I am Lurian Graham Carter. Thank you for joining us.